right, boys, without further ado, let's get down to it. A game recap. The Cowboys started fast by scoring an opening touchdown and forcing a 3-and-out on defense. Though the boys didn't take the cheese, they caught a case of unseriousness when Turpin muffed the ensuing punt. What was first only a symptom soon ballooned into a sickness over the next 3 quarters. Despite holding a 14-10 lead, the case of unseriousness strengthened when a tipped ball became another Dak interception. The Texans took advantage and scored. The helmet then struck Schultz when the tight end dropped a would-be touchdown on the Cowboys' next drive. To compound the problems, Terrence Steele suffered a game-ending injury as the Texans exited the half with a field goal and a 2017 lead. In the second half, unseriousness briefly jumped over to the Texans when they inexplicably fumbled. Then back to Kellen Moore when he failed to find the end zone on 4 occasions within the 5. And the fourth, Josh Ball got a full dose of unseriousness. Beaten once again, Ball allowed pressure to reach Dak's arm, resulting in a costly pick. At the Cowboys 4, the Texans looked victorious, but in 4 plays, the Cowboys defense beat the case and held the Texans to 2 yards, including an incredible Tank Lawrence tackle for a loss. With the door open, a now serious Dak Prescott marched the Cowboys 98 yards in 11 plays. Zeke ultimately finished the drive and the game with a touchdown only he could deliver. To verify their unseriousness, the Texans, who previously botched the 4th down play, replied with several false starts and an interception. Though the Cowboys lost Steele, they still had enough mettle to iron out the mistakes and get a win. That's as good as gold. Fellas, listen to me. So I described that game as kind of unseriousness, and now other people have described it as this is the NFL, any given Sunday. They're humans too. How would you guys describe that performance?
It can't be both.
Okay, yeah. I think it's a little bit of both because, like you described, there were some drives where we should have been finishing. But to start the game with a Turpin fumble muff that they recover and score a touchdown with, and then you go to the Dak interception at the end of the first half that leads to another touchdown. Those 14 points that's the majority of what the Texans did the entire game. They put up 9 more points the rest of the game, which is probably what you would have expected. And so really, it's exactly what you were saying, Ian, where we did stop ourselves. But like, I really didn't think that the Texans beat us. They really put up 9 points outside of 2 drives that started at like the 10-yard line. And that's it.
Well, Rudy, I got some good news. They didn't beat you. But however, like you said, Rudy, yeah, great points right there talking about the 2 turnovers. Because I felt like those were 2 points in the game where you had the opportunity to kind of put that away. I mean, unseriousness when it comes to the Turpin fumble because that man got 2 shots at it, and I can't believe he couldn't recover it off the second one. And then the Dak interception, the first one to Noah Brown, hits him right between the 8 and the 5 and pops up in the air and allows the corner to just get up under it. So it's like, I feel like both cases, you're about to kind of turn the tide of the game and, take control of it, push that lead out to double digits, make it double possessions. And I think it just compounded the rest. Like, it was really kind of the perfect recipe for the disaster for the Texans to win this game. You had the turnovers, you had the luckiness, you had just these fluky plays that kept occurring that just allowed them to keep them in the game. But I feel like a lot of people obviously want to criticize the Cowboys for, well, it was a 17-point shred, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? I think for all of those things that were going wrong without that game, I think you should give the team credit for responding and driving those 98 yards and still getting the victory and still keeping those NFC East hope titles alive. I mean, everyone wants to look at it, well, you didn't do it in like great fashions. Well, the same result still occurred. You won the game. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest plays was the Cowboys failing to get that touchdown on the goal line. I felt like right there, that was a chance for the game to really flip in the Cowboys' favor. And when that didn't happen, the Texans kind of started believing. But what do you guys think? I think the Texans kind of deserve a lot of credit for the way they played. And then there was also a lot of mistakes, Justin, like you highlighted. Nevertheless, he still overcame it. But I think a lot of the mistakes came down to play calling. Weezy, I think last time you tried to criticize Kellen Moore, we stopped you short. This time, I'm giving you the green light to go ahead and criticize that man, because I thought we kind of just played into the defense's hand, in my opinion.
Yeah, you definitely saw that. But to go to your first point, you mentioned the Texans' offense and really our defense. When you look at that touchdown to Amari Rogers, and it was Donovan Wilson on him, right? Donovan Wilson,
bad case of gravity. Yeah, you got a bad case of
turned
gravity.
around. Just the secondary. There was a play. Kelvin Joseph defending. I forget which receiver it was, but early in the game, dives, technically like kind of bobbles it or whatever.
I was going to say,
that was just a
bobbled or not.
You're gonna
bobbled or not. He was burnt.
I don't think he was burnt. That was just a great play.
He was by him. He was completely by him.
You ain't been on that island, bro. That was a perfect pass, perfect catch.
It was like nice. It was a nice pass, dude. One-handed bobble and catch, and it almost. I mean, it could have gone either way on the call of the catch. I think that's just one hell of a play by an NFL caliber player.
Regardless of Justin wants to say Kelvin Joseph was on him or not, I'm telling you that secondary play was what we talked about last week, where we said we were nervous. Dude, it was Davis Mills and who got to Amari Rogers. Like, bro, come on, man, that shouldn't be the matchup.
They were running gimmicky ass stuff all game. Rudy, what are you talking about? They ain't nothing to do with what
Justin.
happened.
Is it not a little concerning that the gimmicks was getting us though? I mean, I guess they weren't really getting us, like we already said. They didn't score unless they gave us gave them the ball on our side of the field.
The gimmicks don't happen if you don't turn the ball over and you. But
you have no concern about the secondary play.
No.
Well,
okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Ian. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, we kind of missed the Kellen Moore part that I wanted to discuss, but we can just jump into the secondary thing. Weezy, you highlighted the bad play by Kelvin Joseph, but in the second half, that man had his receivers on lockdown. He made a play, I think, late in the fourth to get the Texans a 3-and-out. But I will say this: while the coverage was pretty good, without the really like hitting home pass rushing, I mean, no sacks yesterday. I was a little concerned about tackling. Kelvin Joseph didn't look great in tackling. That would probably be my only concern. Rudy, I already heard your concerns with the secondary. Justin, how did you see the secondary?
I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's not like the Texans passed the ball really at all. And if you want to criticize the defense, I suppose you could criticize Donovan Wilson for not picking off that ball in the end zone, I suppose, if you want to. But like for you to come into the game and the Texans run this quarterback carousel of, okay, we're gonna enter in the running quarterback or enter in the passing quarterback, you don't really prepare for that type of stuff. So I'm gonna give them some grace when it comes to that, and the fact that they multiple times, I feel like, responded, especially in the second half, responded on sudden change, responded giving you the ball back, giving you all these opportunities to kind of just take this game over, and the offense kind of failed to do that. But I know we've been kind of positive about the whole thing, but I will say this: the Texans, I think they do deserve some credit. They were hooping yesterday. I mean, that dude Jalen Petrie.
How are you going to lose to somebody hooping on the football field?
I told y'all about him last week, and you're like, who was that? I'm like, well, I think y'all found out who he was, where he was popping the pads on some of these Cowboys receivers.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Texans defense definitely deserve credit. The offense, I mean, I just think the Cowboys defensively played uncharacteristically, whether it was due to eating the cheese, which I don't think they did since they came out fast, but they did seem, I don't know, just uncharacteristic is the best word I can describe the defense's performance.
Everything broke right that had to break right for the Texans to win that game, and they still lost the game.
Absolutely. That's absolutely correct, Justin. And I also want to say, like, as much as I did get on the secondary, this segment opened with me saying that the Texans really earned 9 total points the whole game, and the other 2 touchdowns were because we gave them the ball in great field position. So I'm not going to pretend like the Texans were, driving down the field on us. That was not the case. So I don't want to seem like too harsh on the secondary there.
Before we leave the defense, are you guys concerned at all about not hearing Micah's name at all during that game?
Where we had the opportunity.
I saw
the Texans weren't throwing the ball, bro. Them Texans, every single time, as soon as that ball was snapped, hey, bro, screen. Hey, bro, let's go quick hitch. Like, it was a great game plan by the Texans. I think that's I get it. People don't want to give credit to you're a bad opponent, but Lovie Smith was coaching his ass off, quite frankly, yesterday, and especially with all the different looks he was giving on defense, the offensive game plan that was kind of perfect for and it just your mistakes compounding like it did allowed that fluky offensive game plan to be successful. If Turpin doesn't fumble that ball and you get up 14-0, they can't run that. They can't run that stuff. If you convert that goal line play, they can't run that stuff. If Schultz catches that touchdown, they can't run that stuff. If Dak doesn't throw that interception and they go up again by double digits, you can't run that stuff. So give the credit to the Texans for what they did, but also look at yourself in the mirror and wonder, maybe we shouldn't give our opponents every opportunity to stay in this game like they were able to, and every opportunity to pull out all these bag of tricks and pull out all these conservative play calling, just things to keep you in the game because they never really felt the pressure to try anything aggressively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and well, with them going between Davis Mills and Driscoll, in running almost like two different offenses, we saw the Texans have some success doing some read options, and we know that the Eagles had done that against us earlier in the season. So I wasn't too surprised seeing that. And as far as like not hearing Micah's name, that didn't really bug me either. I did see like people on Twitter freaking out about that. No, man.
The body language police was out there in full force. Oh, God.
Get that out of here. And I think Justin nailed it right, too. I think the offensive game plan that they had was just the right one for the Cowboys, and it ended up being a better game than most people anticipated. But the Texans did play solid, man. They stuck with their game plan.
Justin, you mentioned Lovie Smith coached his ass off. And while he did probably into the last 2 minutes, the other man who didn't coach his ass off was that bum, Kellen Moore. But I will give him a pass, because once again, I think one of the things that broke right for the Texans was Terrence Steele getting hurt and Josh Ball playing meaningful minutes all the way until the last drive, which of course Jason Peters came into play and basically solidified the game-winning drive. How big is that injury?
Before you get started again, I don't ever want to see Josh Ball on the field again. He didn't belong on the team to begin with, considering his past.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he still made the roster this year after that preseason performance. And number 3, I don't ever want to see him on the field ever again in the Cowboys uniform. I need Jason Peters starting. If Jason Peters gets hurt, boy, you better sign somebody off the street, or you better move Tyler Smith over to the right tackle, because especially with Tyron Smith coming back, because I cannot have that dude out there one more time, especially with, I don't know if y'all saw the play where Dak got the fumble. That dude looked lost as lost can be.
Weezy, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, Josh Ball, terrible. He's the reason you had the interception late in the game as well. I mean, which nearly gave the Texans the game. Josh Ball, terrible. Get that guy off the field.
Hey, where's Alarcon, the international player? That man can't get.
He's a guard now.
Oh, dang it! That man needs to see some playing time. All that being said, I would just like to kind of come back towards the end of the game and when it really mattered. The defense made plays, and we didn't hear Micah's name, but we saw Tank do his thing once again. Very much similar to how he kind of secured the win against Detroit. Well, not really, but made a big play against Detroit down the goal line on a run situation. And as bad as, Dak played up and down, I mean, call it what you want, he was dealing with Josh Ball in there. When it came down to it, the man had another game-winning drive.
Okay, yes, Dak had a poor game, but is the sky falling? No, I mean, we highlighted a number of things. Noah Brown, please catch the ball. That takes an interception. Dalton Schultz, please catch the ball.
Josh Ball, stay off the field.
Texans, they made plays. There was a Kirksley. I don't know that linebacker that there was a play where Dak has a pass to Gallup wide open, perfect pass. That dude Kirksley has as we used to call it, the Madden super linebackers, jumps up and yes. I'm like, hey, that's why I said, hey, hats off. That's a great play. I can't hate on that. You can't hate on that one way or the other. That's just like you said earlier, Ian, an NFL player making a great play. Rudy, Ian, the main theme that seems to be circulating out of I guess the fan base here, Cowboys media, is, the Cowboys, they played a bad team and they didn't do what they're supposed to do. They didn't stomp them out. And I would like to ask both of y'all, what team would you guess that's quote unquote a contender? What team has gone throughout the entire season without playing a terrible game against a terrible opponent? Like, I want y'all to start naming off the quote unquote contenders. Who's a contender to y'all?
The Vikings.
Well, let's go ahead and say the team that has the most wins, the Eagles. They've never had a stinko, right?
Oh, forget the game that they lost to Washington, but to have to come back and score at the buzzer against the Colts with Matt Ryan and just Saturday. Rudy, who's another contender?
Go ahead and give me the Vikings.
Hold on. Oh, well, yeah. They just lost to the Lions.
That's right.
And they've been flirting by the hairs of their chin all year when it comes to bad opponents. All these come from behind victories, yada, yada, yada. Ian, who's another contender, Ian? Who's another contender?
How about those Chiefs?
I'm glad you brought that up, because not only did that team lose to the Colts, but that team always messes around and almost loses to the Chargers every year, don't they? The Chargers, that sorry team. Don't let that Miami win fool y'all. That Chargers team is unserious. Any team that want to run the football can do whatever they want against the Chargers. And on top of that, can we all sit here and agree that Denver, what do we think about Denver's offense?
Trash.
And for Denver to go out there, now I'm going to walk y'all through this scenario right here. What would happen if the Cowboys were up 27-0 and we're heading into the fourth quarter? It's a one score game. What would we be saying?
Terrible third quarter.
True.
Now, what would I say? What would they be saying? What would we be saying if the quarterback threw 2 picks in the first half, and then a third one in the fourth quarter to get Denver back in that game? What would we be saying?
Well, you know what they're saying already when Dak won. So go ahead and go crazy.
Now, all those things that I just described right there is exactly what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday. And y'all's little golden boy, Mahomes. Boy, he did not want to win that football game. I don't care. He had the highlight, and that had y'all forgetting things. But boy, did he stink up the joint, especially getting Denver back into that football game. And so the point of all this is to say, good teams struggle with bad teams, guys. This is not college football. And I can point to every single contender right now in the NFL. The 49ers, that's another a team that everyone thinks is going to win the NFC. Boy, if Alvin Kamara didn't lose his mind a couple of weeks ago, New Orleans could have beat them. He fumbled the ball twice in the red zone. And the 49ers only won by 13.
So also the Falcons, too.
Yes, and the Bears. Oh my goodness. But, all right. Another thing I want to get to. Coaches in the NFL. If you're up by 13 I'm begging you, and it's in the fourth quarter. I'm begging you, please do not kick the field goal if you're in the red zone and it's a 4th and short situation. What good is 16 points going to do you when the opposing team can easily make that up? No, I'm sorry. If you're up 10, and let me recap that. If you're up 10 and you're in the red zone on a 4th and short, what good is going up by 13 going to do? What good is that going to do? Team already got scored twice.
Well, I'll say this. It did apply in the Texans game because if the Texans kicked that field goal and went up by 6, then the Cowboys had to score a touchdown. Then the Texans have to get a field goal to win.
That's a different situation right there.
How is it different? If the Rams score twice, then the Raiders just have to go down there and kick a field goal. Now, it's different because they ran out of time. That's the only reason it's different.
No. Because the Rams already had to score twice to tie the game.
Yes, but you can't win the game with a field goal after they score twice. You would have to.
The point of the matter is you're 4th and go. You're 4th and 2
touchdowns.
You're 4th and 2 in the red zone, and you have a chance to ice this game, put this game on ice in the fourth quarter. And the fact that 2 teams did this already, and we got these fake narratives of comeback kids, both Tampa Bay versus New Orleans, and then the Rams versus Las Vegas, can't happen. I can't have it no more. Go for it, bro. Quit kicking the field goal. I know that I'd be killing Staley earlier, but in these certain situations, there's no point in taking the points right there.
Yeah, I know you just brought up Staley, but that is a shift from, I thought, what you told the audience when it was always take your points.
True.
That's in the first half, bro. Take your points early in the game. But when it's time to kill somebody, put that boot on the neck, do it, bro. Just what are you scared of?
Well, I will say this: you shouldn't be scared of. I don't know. I guess you're right. I mean, to allow bum ass Baker to score 2 touchdowns late in the game.
It literally played the exact same way as that New Orleans Tampa Bay game. The first drive, there's some big pass interference that gets them all the way down there. They score a touchdown. Then the other team poo-poos around and messes up on the conversion. And then Baker and Brady throw some quote-unquote miraculous touchdown to win the game. Like, I can't have it anymore. I can't have it. Speaking
of Brady, what a performance yesterday by Tampa Bay absolutely getting annihilated is exactly what I wanted to see. I know it's the 49ers, so they should be putting up those points against them, but there's a play where Brady has Mike Evans in the end zone. They're at like the 3-yard line, and he just straight into the ground, no chance at catching it. Oh my God, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I love to see it. 40-year-old men, that's what they do when they got the ball in their hands. They can't do it anymore. Get them out.
Now, okay, speaking of the Buccaneers, Ian, I know you already said that the Falcons are as unserious can get. But can I interest you in some NFC South Panthers champions?
Bro, I'm ready to ride that train, man. But, ever since they beat the Falcons on Thursday night, I think they look better than the Falcons. Because I think it's been 3 times the Falcons could have taken the South lead, and they poo-poo it every time, man. I'm done with them, throwing them in the bin, and I'm pulling out the Carolina Panthers.
So, Panthers, their upcoming schedule. So they're only a game back, and they already have the tiebreaker with Tampa. They play the Steelers this week. Then the Lions. Then Tampa Bay, which they've already beat 20-3. Then New Orleans. Tampa Bay's upcoming schedule. They play the Bengals. Then the Cardinals. Then the Panthers. And then the Falcons. Now, all in all, especially with Kyler going down, it looks like Tampa Bay probably would win the division still. But it looks like right now that the Panthers, they control their own destiny.
Yeah.
That division is embarrassing.
I'm just saying.
No. We ain't going to get into all that talk.
But
My goodness.
speaking of teams that are coming from the bottom, like I think it would be cute to see the all NFC East wild card or the all NFC East playoffs. But if there's any consolation prize, I'll take the Detroit Lions coming from the grave to get a playoff spot. Because the
You
way
think I
them
can make it all
boys,
the way up? They're only like 2 games out of the playoff spot now?
two games.
2? Yeah.
It looks like they have a tough schedule though.
Who they got?
Down the stretch. So they got the Jets, then the Panthers, and then I got the Bears, and they end probably. Yeah, go Pack, go.
You
It's possible.
You can tell me. You can. What are they
3
right now?
wins
What
at
are they?
least.
What are they? 6 and 7.
Yeah.
You telling me they can't finish 10 and 7?
That Jets one will be close.
Mike White ain't playing, bro. They got Fluco out there.
Flacco's good.
I'm telling you, bro. The way the Lions been playing ball, explosive, physical.
The Pirates be popping.
The Dan Campbell, he be popping the pads. He got them boys hitting.
And they will.
And they be creative. You see the fake punt. You see the pass to the lineman Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
That's the perfect recipe to sneak into the offs.
Sure. Yeah, and they do pass that ball around too. They have a lot of weapons on that team, and now they just got the rookie Williams. Jameson Williams. They just got him back. Yeah, that's a fun team to watch, honestly. All right, now it's time for the weekly pick'ems. Ian, why don't you update our standings?
Yes. So, bringing up the rear, we have a new candidate. That man leading the polls is one Justin, the honorary. A man's being revoked from court. With 4 wins, and then Rudy, you and me are tied with 6 wins. This is by far our worst week.
Bro, what an ugly performance.
Yeah. All right, I'll lead us this week. No worries.
Dog, how start us off bad?
With Thursday night football. I don't know. Thursday night football. We've got the 49ers traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Who you got?
49ers.
As much as it pains me to see to choose this team, I just think the Seahawks might be out of magic. Give me the Niners.
Clean sweep for the Niners. Moving on. Indianapolis is traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Who you got?
The Vikings.
Yes, sir.
Clean sweep for Minnesota there. Moving on. We've got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Who you got?
Ian, you go first.
What the? Don't mess up the order.
No, because y'all be riding the coattails.
Explain that 2-game differential then.
Give me the Ravens.
All right, I don't know what happened to Lamar Jackson, and then fake Lamar Jackson also got hurt. So give me the third Lamar Jackson to get the W.
Okay. I'll say the Cleveland Browns win this game. Moving on. We've got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Bills in Buffalo. Who you got?
Tua broken. Give me Buffalo.
That man's puff piece came at the wrong time. And also, this game comes at the wrong time since they're not playing in Miami and got the shelter of the heat. Give me the Bills.
Clean sweep for the Bills in that one. Moving on. We've got the Eagles traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Fellas, who you got?
Philly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Philly. Moving on. We've got the Lions traveling to New Jersey to take on the Jets. Who you got?
Give me the pads popping Dan Campbell and them Lions.
You know what, Justin? I ain't riding your coattails, but that last segment had me ready to go fight for Mr. Campbell. Give me the
Yes,
Lions.
we need them in the offs, bro.
All right, give me the fighting Robert Salas. The Jets are going to take that one. And moving on. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Who you got in that one?
Panthers.
With Mitch the bitch back there, give me the Panthers.
Yeah, I'll say the Panthers win that one. Moving on. We have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Houston Texans in Houston. Who y'all got there?
KC.
Yes, sir.
Although
Clean
that's a
sweep.
big spread. But
Clean sweep. Go ahead.
No, it ain't it this week. But
All
go
right.
ahead, Rudy.
Moving on. We've got the Falcons traveling to New Orleans for the divisional matchup. Who do y'all got there?
Give me old Desmond Ritter and the Falcons, the new quarterback Falcons.
Yeah, I know I poo-pooed them last segment. But I think I might poo-poo the Saints more. Give me the Saints. Or the Falcons.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the hometown New Orleans Saints win that game. Moving on, the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Who do y'all got there?
Hey, I'm telling y'all, the noise is already starting. Don't be fooled by Jacksonville. Them boys got I think they got 4 turnovers last game against the Titans. So give me the Cowboys.
This will be tough down there in Jacksonville since we all know Florida's crazy. But give me Cowboys.
Clean sweep for the Dallas Cowboys in that one. Moving on, we've got the Cardinals taking on the Broncos in Denver. Who do y'all got there?
You said who? The Broncos taking on the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Give me Denver, maybe, I guess. Even though that boy Russ Wilson in concussion protocol.
Yeah, but someone else is also in protocol for the Cardinals, so give me the Broncos.
Give me Colt McCoy. Cardinals going to get it done.
See, this is why you take the lead, then you lose it.
Nah,
He's
He's
not
not
gonna
ahead.
say it.
He's still in last place.
No, I know, but like he starts
Don't
off
worry.
hot. He starts off hot in the noon games, and then by Sunday night, that man is somehow behind.
Nah. It's all a part of the plan. Moving on. We have the Patriots traveling to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Who do you got there?
I think Las Vegas gonna give up, but give me New England.
Yeah, give me New England.
Yeah, clean sweep for New England.
Yeah, don't you start, bro.
Moving on. We've got the Titans traveling to LA
Good Lord, just burn
to take
the
on the
AFC.
Chargers.
Oh, that's
Who
gross.
do y'all got there?
That's so gross. Why does this game exist, bro? You know, no. What did I tell y'all last segment? Anybody that want to run the ball on the Chargers, they can run the ball on the Chargers. So give me the Titans, the bounce back.
Yeah, I don't see it. Give me the Chargers.
I'll go ahead and say that the Chargers win that one. Yeah, they're at home. Let's roll with it. Moving on. The Bengals traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucks. Fellas, who you got?
Oh, what am I even thinking about? Bengals.
I don't know who the white man's gonna love more this game, but give me the Bengals.
It'll be a torch passing, Ian. Give me the Bengals.
Accurate.
Moving on to Sunday Night Football, where the Giants travel
Oh!
to Washington to take
Oh!
on the Commanders.
No. Ian. Don't poo-poo this game. You know there ain't nothing better than an NFC East tomfoolery game in prime time.
And trust me, I'd rather see that more than like Russell on prime time.
I take
That's a
this
Monday
game
night
over.
game.
I take this game. I take this game over this past Sunday's primetime game.
Yeah,
You
that
kidding
game's
me?
pretty trash.
Man, ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better than a bunch of NFC East foes battling it out, embarrassing themselves, Cowboys included, in front of all of America. Because if there's one thing, it may not be a good game, but it's going to be an entertaining game. So, give me Washington.
Yeah, give me the team off the bye.
I'll say the Giants win that one.
Uh,
Give me the Giants.
I don't think you saw them Giants play last week, boy.
Moving on, finally. The Rams traveling to Wisconsin to take on the Packers.
Hit
Who
the
y'all
music.
got?
What the hell was that?
Hit the music. He's hyping up the crowd.
All rise. Yeah, I got a bad back. The court is now in session. The honorable honor.
All right, guys. I'm sorry. I know. The past couple of weeks we've been losing. The last 2 weeks we've lost. But remember, I haven't gotten y'all in the red yet, so we're still in the black, and we're gonna bounce back. Giants embarrassed me. Titans embarrassed us. This is all right. Now I know what you're thinking, Justin. Those two teams already embarrassed you before. Why on earth would you ride with the faker? But the faker is playing Green Bay. And fellas, let me tell you, this spread is 8 points. You telling me Green Bay is good? You telling me Green Bay is good for 9 points? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Give me Green Bay, but give me the faker to cover.
That's what I'm hearing, man. Yeah, give me Green Bay.
All right, and Green Bay for me as well.
Anything else?
Nah.